everybody. It is a it's Rick and it's been a very we haven't done this in so long.
I feel like I haven't been in the studio in so long.
Oh my God.
I feel like the studio has missed us. You know what's great about the studio is I like it in here, you know what I mean? I mean it's classic that all our wires are all like, you know, fucked up and shit, and it would be nice if they weren't like that, but would it be us if everything was organized with like like all coiled up and little perfect?
No,
that would never be. It would be. We wouldn't even. We'd be out of our minds if we were organized.
You go away next week.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What day is Christmas?
I feel like it's on I don't know. Actually, I can tell you right now. We celebrate the Christmas holidays. In case you didn't know, it is. Hold on.
Wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Next Tuesday. Next Christmas is 1 week away.
Okay, I just the holidays are so crazy because they're supposed to be such a fun time, and they are, and you're with your family and you're doing all these things, but inevitably it ends up being stressful because there's so much that falls on a mom to do, and things don't stop like school and sports until like before.
My kids have a game on the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
You?
I'm pretty sure. I literally, who did I say? I asked somebody something yesterday and they go, oh, I love it. My brother-in-law who lives in London, he's married. He's newly married. He has no kids. And I asked him he asked me something about New Year's, and I asked him something back, and he said, it's day by day over here. I go, holy shit. It's day by day for you. Like, and you have just you and your wife, but I'm sure like the traveling from the UK over to one family to the other, it is stressful because it's all relative. It's like when someone says, oh, your life must be so crazy. You have 4 kids. And then someone's got one kid, and you're like, your life is just as stressful. It's all relative.
I talked about this yesterday with actually my mom because someone was complaining, I wasn't there, about their like life or like the load of their life. And the other one was like, eye roll, like kind of like, wait, I have to do that times 10.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, the really hard thing is some people live with paper plates. Their life is a paper plate. And some people live with a platter, a really hard platter. And when you fill that platter up, it doesn't get sloppy and break. Other people with paper plates, just they can't handle the same amount, but they feel the same people with the platter that's full. So everyone has a different capacity, and it doesn't matter if you do more than the other person. They're at capacity when you only had one little dinner roll on your platter.
And I think that a lot of people don't understand that. And I know that because I feel like people say to us a lot, like, how can you go on the road, run your business all the time? It feels like you guys are at work every single day of the week. You have all these kids, you have all this shit. And I'm like, I think about someone even like your mom.
Yeah.
Who's single, but she has a full-time job. She has a property she has to take care of. I still think that her life is hectic, you know? And my brother-in-law has no kids, and he, you know, he doesn't own a house. So there's not like all of that is, he could just walk away from all his shit. It is all so relative. You guys all have to remember that if someone seems really overwhelmed and their life seems so simple, it doesn't matter what you think. It is what it is.
I just thought, I'm like, why do you care? Like, I was just like, why do you care if that person feels like because
they want to be acknowledged for how crazy their life is and how hard they're doing and working.
From who?
From people.
From everybody.
Yeah. They just want validation that like,
you're all validated. Your lives are all crazy. It's a lot of work. If you stop searching for validation from other people, it'll be less crazy for you. Hot tip. If you stop thinking that other people should validate your craziness, you will be searching and feel like it's not fair that they have something different than you. Oh my God.
And I hate to break it to you, but like, this is the hard truth, is that you're complaining to other people is making you less desirable to talk to.
What do you mean?
If you're a person who's always looking for validation that your life is crazy and your life is so hectic and your life is so stressful, other people don't really want to.
Like, I feel like it's a judgment that goes around and around. I feel like
when someone says,
"Oh, how's your life?" and you're like, "Oh, it's so crazy." Like, even if you're not complaining, you're just like, "Oh, it's so crazy right now." And then in their head, they're like, your life isn't crazy.
Yeah.
You have this. There's no way your life is crazy. My life, in their head, they're like, my life is crazier than your life. How can you feel overwhelmed? Because I'm just thinking of the situation that I was talking about where it was like someone was just asking how it was. And that person was like, oh, it's crazy. Like it feels crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then that person's like, that's not crazy. In their head, they're like, that's not crazy. My life, like in their head, they're like, my life is way crazier.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing thinking that that's crazy? And I'm like, if you're going to ask someone how they are and they tell you how they are, you can't judge how they are. You just got to be like, that's how you are. Like, oh, wow, that's really hard for you. I'm really sorry that's so hard for you.
Yeah, exactly. But if you are, and it just goes back to like, when you ask people like, how are you? And people are like, I'm good. Although people are like, you really need to be honest with how you are. I don't know all the time if you actually have to just like everyone. I think there is something kind of nice about meeting someone who's like, things are all right now. Like things are going well. I'm kind of like, tell me more about that.
Most people say that?
I think less people say it now. I think that I have a lot of, and maybe it's just like, I know more people better now than like I used to know less people. I used to talk to less people, but like now on hockey teams, I'm actually speaking to people like, not as much as they speak to each other, but some people. And so I feel like they feel comfortable to like say
how things are.
But I do love it when someone says, I'm actually feeling, like I have a friend who our life is always pretty great. And I have to say that so she's like, sometimes I feel like I have toxic positivity. She's like, but I'm kind of being honest. And I'm like, we need people like you.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be in a shitstorm all the time.
No.
Oh gosh. I just, sometimes you just wish you could just like turn off your brain and stop thinking and analyzing about your life and just let the life just be simple. Like if you had like maybe like a low IQ and you just like,
I don't think I don't overthink my life.
I mean,
I don't I don't go to bed thinking, I don't go to bed analyzing my life. Like I really don't.
Well, you do deep dive into everything.
Yeah, I think I talk about it, but I don't think about it once, like I get through it and then I'm gone. Like I'm not going back into.
I mean, you got a lot you've had to think about in the past year.
Yeah.
That has been on your mind.
But it's not still.
No?
No. I don't have, like.
It feels like it's there.
Really?
Yes. I mean, of course it would be.
Like what?
Medical. Everything.
Oh yeah,
that is surrounding your everything. It's every single one of your children all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's so weird because I like.
You don't think it translates that way?
I mean, it is the medical thing to me is like all fixable, and I'm not dealing with a child who is in the hospital. Thank fucking God. Like I'm dealing, I actually texted Mark this weekend. I was like, she's so good. Like we didn't talk about her head once. She didn't complain about her head once. Like she was up late. Like we didn't have the conversation once this weekend. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I thought to myself, because she was being crazy with her brother on Saturday, which I haven't seen in so long. Like she was so hyper. And we went for a walk and they were like bear cubs because they miss each other and they don't get to see each other a lot. And they have a unique relationship where they're like best friends and they giggle so hard they can't breathe and they get hyper, okay?
Yeah.
And they say ridiculous things and it is annoying if you're in a small space, but like it has been so long. The two of them can just get to a level of like, well, but mine don't play fight. They just get, usually they're annoying their sister, but she wasn't there. So it was just the two of them just being like, and usually she'd get to that level and she'd be like, ow, like the level would be too much. She wouldn't even get to that level. Let's be honest. And it just kept going. And on Sunday and like, it was like there was never a moment where I thought like, I don't have a doctor's appointment booked I have no doctor's appointment. I didn't book one last week for her. Like I have nothing
amazing
booked.
But then there's Max.
Yeah, I have nothing booked for him either. I don't have anything booked for him. And I have him on a ridiculous vitamin regime that he takes by himself to like clear out some things that were found in there.
How did his overeating ice cream go in the end?
I mean, he didn't tell me. I mean,
he wasn't in pain. Ice cream it is.
I mean, he doesn't do that regular. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if we build, so I let him, I mean, we had some bad knee pain on the weekend, but he also was really sick and had a fever. So like potato. I'm just sort of like, I don't know. I really did not think, I forgot that. It's like in the medical thing for the year.
Oh my God. And Chloe, even with the glasses and the eyes, and she can't do this.
God. Just a headache. She has headaches all.
And now you know something about her.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was, here's the thing. There's kids that have reoccurring things that you're just like, that's just your thing. Like you're just like, you're tired, or like drink your water. And
I think a lot of parents do that.
And both my girls kept having headaches, and then their eyes checked out, although Olivia's was not, but she wouldn't wear her glasses. So I'm like, dingling, you have, so, I was like, an 8-year-old doesn't complain chronically about headaches and then go to dance and complain about headaches. Like it was a chronic headache situation. She'd go to bed and be like, I have a headache. And I was like, come on.
For a long time.
Years, a year and a half. So I finally got to the bottom of that. But I mean, we are on top of that. And we are, I mean, I'm just going to go hard with her and get that one out of the way once they can just figure that out. They did it really quickly with her. So I'm feeling like once I have Olivia's kind of like, I've launched her now. Now it's got to be on her plate. There's not much more I can do. I've got all the supports, and now you got to do this because doctors can't help you anymore. I mean, they can, but like short of a new head and brain, like you got to go do your thing.
But it has been a lot for you. So to say that, because I'm like, if you had a low IQ,
I was in survival though. I don't think I moved through. I can't ruminate. I can't sit and be like, I figure it out. I figure out where the fuck I have to go. I
was a lot.
Yeah. What I do is I go psycho on the internet until I can figure out the problem.
I know, and that's a lot. I mean, it's been a long time of a lot.
At least I can do something about it.
And you're okay with it.
I feel very thankful. That's my biggest problem.
Yeah.
And it was a terrible problem because we didn't know the outcome. And when your kid isn't getting better and you're like, because I actually talked to someone.
But I'm not just thinking about Olivia. I'm thinking about also like everything we discussed, even here on this podcast, a lot that was really emotional with, well, me as well, but like learning challenges. That was huge. That was hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I could just be a person who's like, everything's good. Like, wouldn't that be easier? Because it's a fucking shit ton.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's consuming. It's everything that you think about when it's your kids.
Yeah.
Or it feels like it.
Yeah. I do feel like today, who knows what I'll feel like tomorrow, that,
or in an hour from now.
Because I have resources to be able to help them. It feels like I have support, which I think a lot of people don't feel like they have. And I have a husband who lets me go and research on the internet for 4 hours at nighttime and isn't like, pay attention to me.
And when you send him to a farm in the middle of the woods on a Sunday for special training, he's like, okay. Not many would go for that.
Nope, they wouldn't. So I feel
a parachute.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what?
And he just goes
psycho because what I've done this far, he's trust my process. And he's like, I think I've earned the right to send him to a barn. I've kind of earned it. You know, there's a few things where we haven't, like, if I had kept I do weird things. I do weird things. I'm weird. I'm totally weird. And my husband is probably like, if I told you what I've been doing, you would, I mean, he's been in like an astronaut fucking machine. But if you said, hey, this could help your son 7%. Okay. And it doesn't hurt him. And he likes it. And I can afford it. Okay. 7%. If I can make his life 7% easier, fucking sign me up. If I can give my kid a roadmap to how they learn, who they are, how they think, fucking sign me up, because then I can give you this and I can say, yeah, you know why math is challenging? Because your brain works like this. So stop trying to berate yourself against math. Figure out how you learn, figure out how to do it, problem solve, move the fuck on.
And for everyone who's listening and going like, shit, I wish I had the time for that.
Yeah.
Because you have a full-time job or you don't have the resources.
No.
We get that. We totally get that.
Or the desire. Like there's like, because it is not conventional.
Yeah.
And it's not like a lot of people, some people would just want to be like, carry the fuck on, because you know what? Everyone in life carries the fuck on.
Or I don't have the time and money.
Yeah.
Like I remember you saying when Olivia had her concussion, like how could I have a job?
You couldn't. And I just talked
But people do. Because they have
Sadly, I talked to someone this weekend and her daughter has a concussion. It was through one of our friends that called me and said, can you talk to this mom? Her 11-year-old has a concussion. And I was like, no problem. And she was like, I am waiting for it to get better and it's not. And I'm like, I know. And she goes, I've called where I was supposed to call. They can see me in March. And she's like, I'm hoping we're better by March. Otherwise, you're dealing with a kid who can't go to school from December to March because they can't physically go.
You know what's so crazy about that is I know a lot of American, and I know our kids play hockey, but it
wasn't through hockey, by the way.
No, I'm just saying they can get a concussion from falling down the stairs. Okay.
From bonking it on a cupboard
or whatever.
From playing in a hallway.
But Americans, apparently, like the statistics in like playing football is so high that a lot of parents are like, I would never let my child play football because your chances of getting a concussion are so high. Yet so many American families play football. I mean, I don't know where I would be in that situation when so many parents like, I would never let my kid play football. Well, all you do is crash into each other.
I'll tell you, this weekend alone, I talked to someone whose kid was tripped in the hallway, fell down, hit his head, concussion, home with concussion. Talked to another mom in the pool, synchro swimming, like foot to the head, and it went to like hit the head on the wall or the butt like really hard, concussion. So
no sports, no walking, just lay in bed.
Yep. I've talked to someone else who like walked into something, concussion. I've talked to people who've crashed into a wall, no concussion. I've talked to people who have had full football things, no concussion. So what I've learned is, and I hope this brings peace to somebody or anyone who's like, no way. It could be as simple. Oh, someone got in a car accident, like they got hit from behind, concussion because of didn't even hit their head, but from the bump. Like literally, it has eased my mind that you can't be so like, because fuck, it can be, I could stand up right now. Concussion. Someone hit it at the park on the playground. They were playing with their kid. They stood up and he was out for 3 months, one of our friends. So, I mean, not to scare anybody, but that is sort of where you're at. But no, I guess that was a lot. But I don't go to bed. I haven't gone to bed in a long time.
Because you're so exhausted from all your daily activities and thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, just so you guys know, there's this weird thing that it's called like like where your cells basically act abnormal and it acts like an allergy. MAST, it's called. And the allergist, everyone had a different opinion on what was happening with one of my kids. And I finally went to this allergist and she is so beautiful and so smart and a doctor. And right away, she looked at pictures and she talked to him and she's like, it's an allergy. I know exactly what it is. I'm like, what? And she's like, it's MAST. I'm like, she's like, I've been seeing it more and more in kids after COVID. They have COVID. It lasts for 2 years. It clears itself out and they go back to normal. And I was like, okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. And it acts like an anaphylactic allergy.
So do you have 2 years on your countdown?
We're 1 year.
Okay.
We're 1 year, but it's idiopathic. Like it could be set off one day by the environment, one day by working out, one day by like it just kind of.
And it's if you had COVID before.
They don't. It's too early. But she's like, what you're telling me, the rash, because if he was eating, if Max had been eating foods, right away you'd see the allergy. But because it was never, it was always sometimes this, sometimes that. It was never, and then we did the actual blood work and all the tests. And she's like, if he was anaphylactic, because he gets an anaphylactic response.
So that's for the rash.
Rash, everything. Rash,
what about when
gastro,
he was a kid and he couldn't walk?
That's myositis. That is also.
And do you outgrow that?
I mean, he just had a fever and his knees just hurt. He said it was hard to walk, but it wasn't like he could not walk. Remember when he could not walk?
Tucker asked me that recently. He's like, what's it like when Max can't walk? I said, well, I haven't seen it in a long time, but he crawls. And he's like, is that funny? I'm like, Kind of funny, kind of sad.
Yeah, no, he can't walk for like 3 days, but that is all over TikTok. They're like, a lot of kids are getting myositis now where they wake up, they can't walk for 3 days. And the only thing you have to be concerned about is if they're drinking enough fluids, because it can attack your organs, like your kidneys, your things. So you have to like pump them with fluids because their body is the spike proteins are going after their legs. So, I mean, he's had 2 fevers this year and we've stiff, but like, he's like, my knees feel weird. And I'm like, hey, let's go for a walk and see what happens. So I feel like because I have control, I'm like less, because I have answers to what I'm going through. At least I have less, like I gave him pasta last night, like real pasta.
Oh, he hasn't had it in a while.
Oh, never. He hasn't had it since June.
And how'd it go?
I mean, I'll have to ask him if he shits his pants, but he hasn't told, like, he's like, Mom. I'm like,
I know.
We got to talk. You and me got to talk. Like,
Yeah.
I shit my pants. I shit my pants all the time.
Yeah.
Nat shits her
Lots
pants.
of people. We didn't even know this till I started saying
like,
it. The majority of you guys shit
ice
your
cream,
pants.
cheese. I shit my pants. Like,
Oh,
you
God,
were
I
like,
would never eat ice cream in my life.
all my kids are like, oh my God, is it worth it? I'm like, you know what?
You just have to decide sometimes.
It's kind of worth it to me right now. I'm going to eat my peanut butter and chocolate ice cream and I'm going to shit my pants in about 2 hours. Are we all good? We all good.
I had this moment where I was outside dance one day and I was like, because my favorite is world class chocolate from Baskin Robbins. I don't even like, my body has taught me that I don't even like ice cream, even though I see how delicious it is to everybody else, but it's like my brain knows no. And I went and I got myself a world class chocolate.
I remember this day.
And I sat in the car and I was just like, I haven't done this since like I was a kid, and it was delicious. And then I went home and shit my pants, but it was worth it.
It's just like deep fried pickles.
Oh, fucking
Oh my
right.
God. And coconut curry. Forget about it.
Oh,
like
I mean,
coconut. I had that with you that one day. I was done. And it was half coconut curry.
So coconut milk, which is not dairy. But when people drink coconut milk, apparently you get diarrhea.
Oh, that is, I think I literally shit my pants the last time I had it with you.
I think about everyone who's like on the beach just drinking their coconut water from
No.
their coconut thing. I'm like, careful.
Yeah, water I think is different than the coconut cream we have.
Yeah.
We have coconut curry.
So good.
Oh, and I can't believe you don't rip it up with that one.
I probably do.
Oh,
I do.
it is.
Of course I do.
I think I had to lie in bed. Like, I think it was so bad. I think I was like, until it passed, I was like, oh, coconut cream and me. It's funny because when you're younger, you can eat anything. Yeah. When you're 8, you weren't shitting your pants when you were 8. You think you're, I guess
every
my son
time
is.
when I remember being up at a cottage and we always had to do the dishes, and my brother would always say, oh, Natalie has to go to the bathroom, because he thought I was always trying to get out of it. But I literally just had diarrhea after I had dinner.
How old?
Yeah. I mean, I remember, from my memory, I was in like grade 5 and 6.
Oh, see, if you were my kid, we'd be at the doctor's now
Yeah.
figuring out why you're shitting your pants. But back then, they probably didn't even have a thing for shitting your pants. It was probably just a sensitive stomach.
My sister then had it, and she would always drink lactate milk. She was very aware of that she couldn't eat dairy. She just figured it out herself, and so she respected that about herself. And she would take pills because she was organized and she was able to handle herself.
Okay, so you've had a lifelong problem.
And you could be responsible and take care of it, or you could be like me and have a disaster all the time. Although I'm so much better now. I'm not saying it's gone, but it's so much better. These days, when I mean that there's just so much going on with like our kids, and I mean just all of that, I have all of my thing. Sometimes what I mean is I just wish that I could just turn them off.
Pretend it didn't exist.
Or just be like, oh, walk in the house and just be like, house, fluff pillows, make dinner, clean dinner. Like, because I actually feel like before they were like teens and tweens, I could do that more. It was just like, kid, put them to bed. Now it's nighttime. And there wasn't so many things that I was thinking.
Ma'am.
And the reason.
Ma'am.
What?
That's a lie.
It feels way different now. I used to be able to like have.
I mean, we called therapists back in the day. And
yeah, but at the end of the day, like, at 7:00 it ended. And 7:00 they woke up. You know what I mean? Like, there was a huge break in time.
That's true.
And I feel like now, I'm starting to feel like the fun, aside from the fun that we have with you guys and going on tour, the fun has become a lot less. And I don't know if it's that family is so overtaking, or I'm getting older. I don't know which one it is. I'm like, do you just accept, like, literally, Miley
you
Cyrus'
had an awakening
song
in September.
Oh my God, and I went out all the time?
No. I feel like in September, you're like, it's like you denied till August, like 31.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were like, fuck, I got to get my shit to. You were like very carefree.
I'm easing. I'm like kind of like nobody needs to go to school anymore. I don't really fucking care anymore. In January, I have to get back fucking into it.
Oh, I think you're doing a great job.
I don't know. I don't.
I mean,
know
you were
really
on top of homework. You were on top of. You went to parent teacher interviews.
She forced me.
Right.
The other ones are like, don't come if you don't want to, and I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But it's I need to get my shit back together because I haven't done homework with somebody in this pile of length. But when Miley Cyrus's song came out, I used to be crazy. It's because I used to be young.
Yeah.
It just like resonated with me so much because I just feel like I'm just thinking about it. I don't know if this is just what you do when you get older. Is like you just don't put yourself out there to have that kind of crazy fun anymore.
Like what are you looking for?
Like I see so many people on Instagram like out to dinners, out to parties, out to like, I was talking to a friend and she's like, yeah, I go out at least twice a week. Like, of course I do.
Does she work out of the office? I mean, out of the home.
I think most days she works out of the home, but there's no kids at home.
But I mean, like if you go downtown, like if we went to an office, we would have a different life.
I know.
Because we make our lives hard. And I think that when you go to an office, like I really do regret the fact that kids can reach you, have cell phones at school. I think, you know how you campaign at one school? I think you should campaign no cell phones during the day.
I would consider it if I hadn't felt like a lot of people have already tried.
Because then they can't reach you. Because we would have to go to the office. Like, can I call my mom? And then you'd have to leave a message. And then they would go and find your mom, leave a message. She might not get it till 3:30. She'd have to check a voicemail or find the note on her desk. And she might not be back at her desk. She may be out for lunch somewhere. But this whole you call, I come. You call, I pick up. You call, I fix it. It's ruining lives.
The other thing I think is like, Ubers. It's so amazing because now a kid can go on Uber. You can follow the Uber and you're just, where your kid is. And so they're safe. I talked to one parent. She's like, well, my kid doesn't go into Ubers. If she can't walk or take the subway, she can't go. I'm like my life, like how I lived, only walking and Ubers.
Yeah.
We would walk late at night. We would take the subway late at night at the age my daughter is right now.
Yeah.
But it's really easy to be like, let's just put her in an Uber because then we know she's safe.
Well, and they're accustomed to it. They haven't learned to be savvy on the subway like we were because they didn't grow. Like you have to do baby steps. So you have to start with like doing like one thing. Like it's like here's some.
And I know a lot of people, a lot of you don't live in the city, so you don't have public transportation. So that's not an option. And a lot of you live in the city. Your kids only take the subway. This isn't like a reality that you get to take Ubers.
I think a lot of people drive their kids places.
Well, that's another thing. And then I thought to myself, that's a lifestyle. Do I want to wait up till 11:30 to go pick you up somewhere? And get in the car and go drive to wherever the fuck you are to pick you up? Not really.
Here's a tricky thing about parenting. You can't go from 0 to 100 within a year. Mm-mm. So you can't all of a sudden decide, okay, you no longer get Uber. If you give them Ubers from 7 to grade 9, I'm sorry, you're on the Uber train unless you want to go back and teach them slowly and gently how to go from point A to from point B.
Yes.
Because they become accustomed, and it's like if you don't learn to crawl before you walk,
exactly,
you're kind of fucked. Like not fucked, but you have to do baby steps to get to the big steps.
I'm actually going back because your eldest, you learn everything, right?
Yeah.
So I am having to pull back with my daughter, and I told her, I said, this isn't just you, this is me. I've done this too. This is going to be a transition. It's going to be hard. Let's analyze a week from now and see where we're at. You know what I mean? And go from there and it's hard because everybody else is doing it. You know what I mean? Not everybody else has to take the blue night home.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm like, one day you're going to be in another city. Are you just going to take Ubers everywhere you go? So anyways, that's why it's hard to have fun.
I think that also you do have fundamentally you have more on your plate than me because you have 3 boys in hockey let's just call it 3 children in travel sports, if you will. That's what they call it now, is travel sports. Like you be traveling. So they can't get to their rinks on their own. You have to wait an hour. You have to drive them. You have to go to games. I have 1. And the other 2, one's a drop-off pickup situation, which is very close and convenient for me.
Yes.
And the other one isn't in anything.
I'm fucking pissed at that place too.
So I'm
in a mood.
I have 1. with that.
Yeah.
And you have 4
Mhm.
constantly orbiting
Mhm.
and moving. And then you have 4 different schools.
Right.
I have 2 different schools. That's it. You have 4.
Mhm.
So I have only 2. It's also the influx that comes in at you. So not only do you have information, none of my kids can contact me during the day.
Mhm.
No one. You can have all 3 contact you. 2 really. So it's like the things that are coming this way at you are like, even if people don't say that, like notifications alone, they say cause you to be like kind of panicked. So you're getting emails from schools, notifications, test marks, teacher conversations. You got to do this. Okay. Now I'm planning the holiday. Like I feel like you're on a conveyor belt and you're sitting here and then the sushi restaurant with all the food just keeps going around you. And you're like,
And you feel like everybody else kind of has it down.
I don't think anyone has your situation. I don't think anyone.
Oh yeah, they
4
do.
kids in 4 schools with a whole bunch in
Or it's something
competitive
else.
sports?
Or it's something else.
I don't know anyone with your situation.
But if it's not
The only
that-
one is my brother who lives in Timbuktu and has to drive an hour to go to their games. Their traveling teams are those people crazy too. You crazy. You fucking crazy.
And then I just say to myself, before we know it, like
They'll
people
be
say,
gone.
but I actually am starting to feel that in a way that I never felt it before. I thought like people like one day you'll be sad because you're not driving them anywhere. And now that Taylor is halfway through grade 10, I'm like, they're right. It is going to be done in hands I can count on, you know, that I won't have to be doing all that shit anymore.
yeah.
2.5 years for Taylor. I mean, even next year, one of them is going to be the one that needs a lot of help is going to be independent in school.
Okay.
It's going to be so good.
Who's
one
that?
day. Ted.
Oh, okay.
Like no one's driving him or picking him up from school.
There we
Oh
go.
my God, it's going to be a fucking vacation. Maybe I'm going to go out and have some fun.
I think so.
And also,
Yeah, go ahead. I like this.
everybody who goes somewhere warm, the kids are like, oh, my kids are going. My friend is leaving for Florida. My friend is going here. So I'm like, I kind of thought I'd be there. I thought I'd be in a place where I
know.
could take a vacation.
I know.
And I know not everybody. I know that's a luxury. I totally know. And I'm going to Boston. I know I'm not at home. I am going somewhere.
I'm home.
But yeah, I mean, it's too expensive to go anywhere, especially at Christmas time.
And again, clusterfuck me if I'm going to go and like jam myself in where you can't get a fucking seat at a resort and I'm going to line up for an hour to eat and I'm going to like be packed in sardines and pay 3 times the amount to sit with sweaty people. Fuck no.
No, but we used to get houses.
Not at this time.
Right.
We never have gone at this time. We've always gone off season. Don't
Because I always go there.
Don't fool yourself. We do not go. We've always gone on vacation on the off season because it's a hella cheaper.
And now we fucking can't because of the kids' schedules.
And because also the cost of airlines is during like to get anywhere, it's like $1,000 per ticket. It is ludicrous. So yeah, no, right now, I mean, I didn't go on my first vacation until I was 17. Same hot. I didn't go on one hot vacation until I was 17.
Me neither.
And I'm like, I fucking am fine about it.
And I went with someone else's family, which was amazing.
I actually,
a friend.
I did do that.
Find
I did
a
go
friend.
with, yes.
Find a friend whose family
Rich.
vacations and
You like and aren't weird.
yeah, I mean, I still had weirdos, but they'll take you away because they want someone to entertain their kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Find an only child.
Oh my
Great
gosh,
one.
Only child is
Genius.
a good one. Only child friends are really great. Their parents are available,
Yep.
willing, want to
Yep.
give them experiences,
Yep.
and need someone to entertain.
My
their
daughter
kids.
got invited for the first time away.
Oh,
Actually, she's been invited away, but she's like,
here she goes. This is it. And now she'll be amazing because she's such a good girl and she's such a good house guest. They'll say, bring that one back. She's not a problem. Bring her back.
okay, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, we've been over 30 minutes.
Bye.